All right, let's get rocking. It is Monday. It is 1 o'clock. Time for the Monday message, man. I am so excited this week. We have so many crazy things going on. I can't wait for you to hear the numbers that we did last week. And I've got some of the absolute stars of last week going to be on the call with me today. Crazy good numbers happening all over. And the Zoom dial jam has been absolutely crazy. Like crazy, man. Last week, Billy Crane had 20 appointments booked on Thursday before it was even lunchtime. Kyle Fawcett came on and hammered out, I think, 23 appointments. Billy got on, booked some more. We already started this morning. Billy's way ahead. Noel Wilson's way ahead. We got Hutch jumping on the dial jam coming up at 2 o'clock. When this call's over, he's going to take it to, I think, 5. Then we got Evan Patzer in the mix. We got Billy Crane back in the mix. So we got some absolute studs booking today. And it's working out great with having one person on the live mic so that others can hear. Everybody else, put your video on, turn your mic off. Let us see you work while you watch us work, man. I'm telling you, the dial jam on Zoom has been crazy good. On top of that, you see the 40 appointments a week just taking hold, man. People are booking 40 appointments a week. The full-time people are booking 40 appointments a week. And it's a real simple progression. I posted it on WhatsApp. I might have put it on band. I can't remember, but it's a real simple graphic. Monday, book 20 appointments for Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, book 20 appointments for Thursday, Friday. Are we going to do other dial jams? Absolutely. Soto's going to head one up tomorrow, and Wednesday I'll be heading up the Thursday one again. But the 40 appointments, man, it's taking root. It's taking root. And I was just texting with Kim Diaz before this. She said, I'm on from the end of, from the start of the dial jam this afternoon until I book 20 appointments. Nothing less. It's sticking, man. I'm telling you. I'm also fired up. I'm about to be with the top leaders in Florida, man. Anytime you get to be around leaders, and I got one of those leaders on the call with us today. I talked about this last week. The strategy that Justin Balick has been using, which is is smart, is simple, and it's flat out getting results. But to get to be around leaders like him and Sydney, to get to be around other leaders like Paul Roberts, man, that's always just fuels my fire. So there's so much to talk about today. Let's get right into the numbers because I want to get Justin on. I want you to hear what he has to say. I'm telling you, it's one of those things. Just swipe and deploy. Swipe and deploy. Do it exactly like he's going to tell us. All right, let's go with all producers over the 1,000 for the week. We'll start with Ernie Martinez, $1,027.44. Crystal Wright, $1,090.44. Rogers and Kim Straughter, $1,120.39. Terrell Sarter, $1,167.12. Doug Schaefer, $1,881.52. Doug was one of those ones on Thursday, booked 20 appointments on Thursday, just hammered it out until he got it. So proud of you, Doug. I know you got a big week brewing. All right, Martinez Washington, $2,106.36. Brandon and Ashley Beal, $2,656.92. Austin Heater, $3,026.76. Chris Callis, $3,302.76. Diana Castile, $3,360.60. Jeremico Edwards, $3,951.08. Gustavo Mercedes Terran, $5,892.96. Kim Diaz, $6,354.60. Kim, you are on the rise. texted you earlier. Me and Holly were talking about you last night. We are so proud of you and just the changes you're making. And I'm telling you, your future is bright. Mark Hutchison, $7,915.44. Talked about him before. Kyle Fawcett, $8,188.08. And I'm telling you, he just slammed out 20 appointments, not kidding, between 2 and 5. 20 appointments booked. Boom. They end up with 23. Mimi Ramiro, $14,496. Billy Crane, $23,780.40. Over 19 apps. That is flat out working, brother. I'm so proud of you, man. It's the fruits of leadership. It's the fruits of example. I mean, you came on, you hammered out the appointments. You ran them all weekend. I'm telling you, you're killing it, Bo. And I know you got a crazy start on this week as well. And number one last week in the country with us, Evan Patzer, $34,496.60, writing some IULs, writing some term, writing some final expense, writing some annuities, writing a little bit of everything, brother. Proud of you, man. Let's go with top 5 key leader and above groups. And remember, anybody can compete on this leaderboard because key leader is simple. All you got to do is get a few people selling, and you become a key leader, and then you count outside of your upline, and you can compete. Number 5 last week would be Mark Hutchison, over 10,000 in his key leader group. Number 4 would be my group outside of all my key leader legs, another 13,000, just short of 14,000. Mimi Ramiro right at 15,000 in her key leader group. Billy Crane just short of 24,000 in his key leader group. And Evan Patzer's key leader group leading the way last week, $45,066.12. Way to go, brother. You're going to hear from Evan in a little bit too. I want you to hear what he's got going on. All right. Recruiting last week, all with completed fast tracks, all with one direct completed fast track. You got Shadayla McLaughlin, Megan Stocking, Mimi Ramiro, Caleb Delgado, Eric Smith, Roxana Lale, Sean Quigley, Kevin Hughes, Noah Wilson, Billy and Ada Crane, and Mark and Shannon Hutchison. With 2 direct completed fast tracks last week, you've got my base shop here, Diana Castile, Chris Callis, Kyle Fawcett, and Evan Fawcett. Yep, the 2 Fawcett brothers are taking on, man. I'm telling you. Rogers and Kim Strotter with 4 direct completed fast tracks, all with completed contracts last week. With 1 direct apiece. You got Rogers and Kim Strotter, Shadayla McLaughlin, Sean Quigley, Roxana Lau, my base shop here, Diana Castile, and then with 2 direct completed contracts last week, you got Chris Callis. All right, enrollees and licensing, all with 1 direct enrollee and licensing. You got Gustavo and Mercedes Tehran, Brandon and Ashley Beal, Diana Castile, Mark and Shannon Hutchison. With 2 direct enrollees and licensing last week, you got Rogers and Kim Strotter. With 3 direct enrollees and licensing last week, you got Evan Patzer, and leading the way was my base shop with 9 direct enrollees and licensing. We are well over 100 people direct in licensing over the last several weeks. Just crazy proud of what we got going on here at the base shop. In fact, I'm gonna post a video. I'll post it on Band of just some of the craziness here at the base shop. All right, tons of new IBAs last month. Listen to all these new IBAs we added. People issuing their first piece of business. You got Randy Schroeder, you got Cynthia Fierro, Karina Alicorn, Adam Lucas, Todd Burke, Debbie Connolly, Nicole McConico, Amber Cox, Natasha Williams, Eric Smith, Chris Callis, Kellen Whedon, Desiree Zanders, Zachariah Ward, Stuart Adams, Tamika McCotter, and Sam Jeter. Look at all those people last month in June. First piece of issue paid business. Crazy. A couple new qualified business developers. You got Kyle Fawcett and Crystal Wright. Qualified business promoters, Noel Wilson, Shadayla McLaughlin, Ernestine Coleman. Qualified team builders last month, Neil Billings. I saw Neil he was on the Dial Jam with us yesterday, just jamming out, or on Thursday. And then Irma Moss Bryant. All right, that's all the recognition for today, man. So proud of the team and what you guys did last week. This 40 appointments is sticking, it's taken. I'm so proud of everybody. Now what I want to do, I want to get Justin Balick on. I talked about this last week, guys. What he's doing is smart, it's simple, and it's effective. He's flat out getting results. So Justin, I'm going to mute out, and I'm going to listen and take some notes, brother. Talk till you're done, then I'll come back on, and I'll let you get back after hammering it.
Appreciate that, man. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, brother.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Well, thank you, Stephen, for having me on the call. Really appreciate it. It is an honor to be on another manager call, especially Stephen Davies, youngest millionaire with us, cray growing. I'm loving it. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. So guys, my name is Justin Balick. I'm out of Miami, Florida. It is always sunny and beautiful here. So you're more than welcome to come anytime you want. So I'm going to try and impart a little bit of what we're doing with IULs on y'all. There is a longer version. So Sydney and I actually did a product call on this with Gina Hawks in April. I just pulled this up. April 23rd of this year. So if you go on naa-tv.com and you just look up Justin, you'll see it. It's a product call April 23rd. I just wanted you to see that because I actually drew out some diagrams and different things that I do that are extremely effective when it comes to IULs. So this will be the more condensed version. So if you want something that you can play over and over again and you can see it, I actually asked Gina, hey, look, you know, when I do this, I draw something out on my iPad and I want people to see it. Usually on the product call, it's just a phone call. There's no Zoom. So I asked to do a Zoom call so that we could share the screen and people could actually see what I diagrammed. So for future reference, April 23rd this year, NAATV. Okay, so guys, here's the condensed version. A couple things that are real simple that we're doing. Check this out. All right, so for instance, last year, Sydney and I were number 2 in the company in IULs, right behind your guys' very own Brandon Beal. And we really just started doing the IULs, bigger ones, and this concept that we're talking about, or I'm about to talk about, at the end of last year. So we started October, November, and we still became number 2. Now we started imparting that on our team, and if you look at the F&G leaderboard, 5 out of the top 15 F&G IUL producers are in our group, simply because they're doing this, what we're talking about, okay? So here's the first thing that I would encourage you guys to do. I'm sure that there are people that all of you guys know that you have not spoken to about insurance because you thought they had too much money, were too successful, or something. Some kind of crazy thought up there that said, you know what, they're too good, I can't, they're good. I can't deal with people like that. Well, here's a very simple statement that I've never had someone say no to, ever, okay? So let's say you have your friend Bob and he makes a lot of money, okay? And you want to talk to him about an IUL. This is as simple as it gets. You say, hey Bob, hey, you know what everybody who makes a lot of money like you's number 1 biggest bill is? Let them answer. And they're probably going to say something like my mortgage, my car, I don't know. They say crazy stuff and you're like, no, it's your taxes, right? And they're like, oh yeah, of course, my taxes. Because guys, no bill takes 20, 30, 40, 50% of someone's income like taxes do. So I know for a fact that their biggest bill is their tax bill, okay? So they say, yeah, my taxes. Okay, yeah, of course. All right, so Bob, if there was a program where you could put money away and let it grow with no taxes, would you be open to hearing about it? And I've never had someone say no to that, guys. That freaking simple, okay? So, again, hey, Bob, you know what everybody who makes a lot of money like you's number 1 biggest bill is, right? Let them answer. It's your taxes. Okay, well, if there was a program where you could put money away and let it grow with no taxes, would you be open to hearing about it? They're going to say yes. Then you book an appointment with them. Okay? All right, so once you sit with them, I draw this out. This is the part where you're gonna have to look on, I would be using my iPad, but we're doing the call dial session and it's on my Zoom, so I can't use that unfortunately. But I say, all right, so check this out. I take my iPad and I draw out the word money and I say, okay, so Bob, when it comes to money and taxes, there's 3 types of money. Do you know what they are? He's going to say whatever he's going to say. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to show you worst to best, okay? Here's the worst type of money, is taxed money. That's like the money, and I draw a circle, kind of like I'm drawing a hierarchy. Draw a circle, taxed. That's the money in your pocket, money in your bank account. So pretty self-explanatory, right? Yep, okay, great. Now, the second best type of money when it comes to taxes is tax deferred money. Now that's, and I write tax deferred, and underneath that, all right, that's like your 401k, traditional IRA, 403b, but there are a couple things that are wrong with this, okay? One is it's locked up until you're 59 and a half, unless you want to pay a federal penalty on it. And oh, by the way, there's a ton of stock market risk involved with that. I don't care. There's 1,000 different ways you can diversify a 401k, IRA, 403b, but the key is it is just less risk, not no risk. Big difference. Okay, so no matter how your 401k or IRA or tax deferred account is diversified, there is a risk factor involved. Period. Fact. Okay. Now, here's the best type of money when it comes to taxes is tax-free money. And you're probably saying, well, Justin, I've never heard of anything. There's no such thing as tax-free money that I can get legally, right? Well, that's almost true, Bob. There's only 3 ways that you can legally earn interest with no taxes. Do you know what any of them are? Sometimes people know 1 or 2, okay? But I'm just going to say again, all right, I'm going to show you again from worst to best. So here's the worst way is municipal bonds. I write municipal bonds. They're not even really worth the paper that they're written on. It's a joke. These upcoming years are going to be the first years of what are called negative yielding bonds. And what that means is you're literally losing money, just less than you might be in the stock market. Who the hell wants that program? Okay? Now, the next best one is a Roth IRA. All right, couple things. One is, depending on your age, you can only put in $5,500 a year into this program. If you're older, you can put in a little bit more, but not a significant amount. Who the heck is going to retire off of putting away $5,500 a year? And oh, by the way, if you're single and you're making over $120,000, you can't even qualify anyway. And oh, by the way, it still has the same problems that the traditional IRA has, which is it's locked up until you're 59 and a half. If you want to take money out before 59 and a half, you won't be taxed on it, but you will still pay a federal penalty. And the second is that you still have that stock market risk. Okay, now I'm going to show you the best way to have tax-free income. And then I draw a line down and I put insurance. So guys, think about this already. I already have money, taxed, tax deferred, tax free. Okay, so I'm already showing them worst to best. Okay, so we're already in the best column. Then under the best column, there's 3 things: municipal bonds, Roth IRA, insurance. So now we're at the best of the best. So psychologically, they're already fired up. Okay, so I bring down insurance. I say, okay, now with insurance, you can put in an unlimited amount of money. I'm writing all these things out, okay? An unlimited amount of money. There is absolutely no stock market risk. It's liquid. So I know, Bob, I know you're 30 years old. I know you don't want to wait 29 and a half years to take some money out. Well, here, if you need money in 2 years, you can take money out with no taxes and no penalties. Okay? So it's liquid. And oh, by the way, since it's through an insurance company, you're getting a death benefit to go along with it for free. All right? So think about this, Bob. If in a 401k, regular 401k, let's say you put in $10,000 into there and you're 30 years old and you drop dead, do you know how much money your family's going to get? He's going to say no. I said, well, he's going to get that 10,000. They're going to get that 10,000 minus taxes and federal penalties because you died before 59 and a half. So they're going to probably get 5,000 of that 10,000. Now, Bob, you drop dead today and you put in $10,000 into this program, you know how much money your family's going to get? I don't know. Potentially $1 million plus. Which sounds like a better program to you, Bob? So, check this out. Any book that you read will tell you that if you want to create any sort of substantial retirement, anything that's going, listen, anyone that says that they're planning on making less money in retirement means that they did not plan properly. Any book will tell you that if you are going to put away money and save for retirement, that you shouldn't be really putting away anything less than 10% of your income. So you said you make 250,000, that would be 25 grand a year. Does that make sense? They're going to say, yeah, of course. Okay, great. So I'm going to show you what that looks like for you. And then I take out my computer and I run the illustration for them right then. And I will make that the lowest of the three options. So if he says he makes 250,000, 10% would be 25,000 a year. I'm probably going to show them 25,000 a year, 35,000 a year, and 45,000 a year, and just see which one they want. But here's what's crazy, guys, is after I've done this whole diagram, and then very simply, matter of fact, hey, look, any book you read will tell you that if you want to create any sort of retirement, you need to put away 10% of your income. Does that make sense? They always agree with me. So now, guys, here's the big thing, even if you're new, okay? I know that for some of y'all, asking for a $25,000 premium might make you choke a little bit. But if you just simply say 10% of your income, now it takes the fear and the craziness out of that number. Because they could be making $1 million a year, but 10% is 100,000. It doesn't matter. It's 10%, period. So now you guys don't have to think about and worry about, here's what most new agents do. They'll base what the client can put away based on what they can afford. That's not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is based on their income. And by doing this 10% rule, it takes your thought process out of it. And it's 10%. That's it. And guys, what's crazy is when I've done it this way, we have not had somebody not pick one. It freaking works and it makes sense. And if someone is young and you show them an illustration where they're putting away 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100,000 for a 10-year period even, the illustration is so ridiculous that they'd have to be an idiot not to apply for it. As simple as that. So I don't know if there was anything else you wanted me to say on that, Stephen, but that's really as simple as it is.
That was perfect, bro. That was perfect. And it's so simple, and it's a subtle mind shift. And definitely, guys, that 423, the April 23rd training, please watch that. Please watch that. It is some great stuff. Justin, I appreciate you jumping on, man. I know your time is crazy valuable, and I know you're crazy busy, so it means a lot to me that you would come on here and share some with us, man. So I'll let you get back after hammering it, bro, and I'll see you in a few days.
Absolutely. Thank you, buddy. Absolutely. All right, guys. Peace out.
All right. And definitely send Justin some thank you feedback on that. I'm telling you, it's every middle American family in the United States needs an IUL. Absolutely need an IUL. I believe that with every fiber of my being. And here's why. If they don't, how are they going to retire? Pensions are a thing of the past. I mean, I guess you could go do 30 years as a government employee, but that'd probably just, that would just bang your hand on the wall. But man, I'm telling you, every middle American family needs an IUL. They need it. They need it. They need it. It is the best case scenario for their retirement. If the worst happens, mom and the kids are going to be okay, or dad and the kids are going to be okay financially. If the best happens, they're going to have a tax-free retirement that is, Holly and I, we have massive amounts in IULs. That's how much we believe in it. And I'm just telling you, just apply it. It works, man. The stuff he's talking. I want to get some of my guests on. Let's get Mimi. Let's go to Mimi Ramiro first. Mimi, you had a big week. I know you got even bigger things cooking. Come on with us. Just share a little bit of what, what you're thinking, what you're learning, what you're feeling. Share some of that magic Mimi mojo.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for having me on the call. That was awesome what Justin was sharing. I'm going to go back and using some of that thing to add to my mojo so I can do better. So, Stephen, it's really like I wish I had like a magic that I could share with the team. The magic I would say will be like activities, The magic is the momentum. And how do you get momentum? You get momentum by doing the activities. I have decided, since Indy's been talking about that song, I have decided to follow Jesus. So it gets stuck in my head. So I have decided I can do better and I can be better. So when Indy came with that super PAC in the middle of COVID, I was like, that's a little crazy, but I love it. I'm crazy. He's crazy. He's doing crazy things at us. I'm going to just embrace it. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but I'm pretty sure we'll figure it out. So I took the challenge. I'm going to do 50K. How am I going to do that? I didn't know, but I'm like, I'll figure it out. So what did I do? I decided every week I'm going to have a call with Ashlyn from the lead department. So from LPT. So every week I talk to Ashlyn on Thursday at 11 o'clock, every single week. So why do I do that? I don't have time. I'm busy. For those of you guys who don't know me, I'm married, 2 kids, and all that jazz that come with having kids and family. I have it. I joke about it with Stephen and everybody who knows me. My family just plan on dying all the time, and if they were all in America, I'll be a super producer for real, because I will be insuring all of them. So I have stuff. I have a lot of stuff going on, but hey, it's my business. So I have decided that I'm gonna take charge of it. And part of me taking charge of my business is that I make a point to always be talking to the lead department. Most of the time I talk to Ashlyn. I'm always reviewing my leads. I'm always taking on new leads. Like with the Facebook leads, I took 700 of them. Whatever came out of it, hey, it's $1. It's $1 lead. What can you complain about? You sell two apps, you good. All I need is somebody to call. So that way I can have activities, because I know if it's not the Facebook leads that's gonna work for me, the NA leads gonna work. If it's not the NA leads, it's gonna be my referrals. If it's not referral, I'm gonna find somebody that I talk to that's gonna work. So I do all kinds of crazy activities, Stephen. All in for the 40 appointments. That's my goal. And then another thing, guys, that I've been doing, if I can't get much leads or whatever you call it in California, I open myself up. I get licensed in other surrounding states. So I suggest you guys do the same thing. There are a lot of states that are close to each other. If you can't do business in your area, go somewhere else. And I'm not the only one doing it. I know Jake and Bell Krause. I know Brendan is huge on traveling and do that. But that's what you have to do. Like I told Ashton, I'm open. I'm open to go anywhere you guys have leads that you can send me. Just send it my way so that way I can get it done. I want COVID to be the time where I make the most money. That's my goal, and that's what I've been doing. So last week, it was nothing magic, Stephen. It was more like me trying to be crazy. I walk around with my pain meds with me. I have health issues as well, but I walk around with my pain medicine. When my neck hurt, I rub it with some medicine and then go back on the phone and then get back on the field and do what I need to do, because I want freedom. I have big goals for myself, for my family. For the summer, I want to go crazy. I have to do the activity. So the magic is numbers. I make doesn't matter what. I don't stay at home to work. I mean, I know not everybody can do it, but I'll sneak out of the house and go to the office to work because I need to do it. I need to focus. So $300, $400, $500, that's what I do a week. Talk to a bunch of people. I don't really have a magic. I just talk to a lot of people, then it end up working. So that's the magic. The magic is in the numbers, in the activities. Don't give yourself excuses. We all have problems. We all have issues. But if you decide that you're going to succeed, you're going to make it work no matter what, you seek counsel, you'll find a way. That's all I've been doing, Stephen. I don't know if there's anything else that you want me to add. You probably remember more about me than I remember about myself.
No, that's perfect. That was perfect. I love the things you're talking about there. Being proactive on leads. That was when the field was a big part of my income. That was every Monday. I was on the phone. The lady's name at that time was Deborah. I would be like, Deborah, where am I going now?
Yeah.
First week of the month on a plane. Every month, first week of the month on a plane to go run leads in another state. I've run production, Florida to the Northeast to Washington. I'm telling my biggest week ever actually was in Oregon. But I love that stuff. And so the $1 Facebook lead special that came, I'll be watching my phone Thursday, Friday-ish this week.
Okay.
I'll be watching my phone for announcements.
Okay.
That's the best I can say. Awesome. Thank you, Mimi. All right, let's get Billy Crane, man. Billy, can you come on with us?
Yes, sir.
Brother, I am so proud of you, dude. I'm telling you, so I've got a million things I got to get done, right? But when I'm watching Billy dial, it's like watching sports to me. I'm just going, oh, that was a good one. Oh, yeah. Oh, this client thinks they're going to get out of booking an appointment. Watch this, right? Whoa, get him right there. It's like I told you on Thursday, I was like, I can't stop. I'm behind on my calendar. I got good stuff to do, but I want to watch some more of this. So you set a heck of an example on Thursday. You're back at it again this morning. I've been getting texts. I know you've been getting texts saying, dude, Billy, I learned this from him. I learned that from him. You had a massive week of production. I know you got another massive week cooking, brother. So just share some of the good stuff with us, man.
So I'm going to start here, Stephen, and I'm going to kind of piggyback off Mimi for a second. You know, what you and Andy and all the leadership have put together is really, really, really like got me more motivated than ever before. I think with this super PAC and the fact that Andy took the lid off the business in a sense, like you can literally go from where you're at to 120% in 2 months, just like that. It changed for me. I mean, not only the fact that we got the ability now, as you talk about with the Integrity Marketing Group, you also got the ability, you know, if he does another round of premium financing, I mean, we have so many reasons to go out there and work hard. And as you said, like we could potentially, you know, get millions of dollars in buyouts. I mean, the numbers are just crazy. And the way I look at it is this. I think most people, if they got asked a question and somebody said, hey, listen, Jason, if I can help you make $1 million in the next 12 months, guaranteed, what would you do? And 9 times out of 10, Jason, man, I go all in. Like, I'll give all of it. I'll do everything I can. Like, I mean, would you work 7 days a week? Like, you know, what would you stay up late? Would you get up early? Would you invest in leads? Like, I mean, what are you willing to do to make $1 million in the next 12 months? And again, I think most people are going to say, man, I'll do it all. And that's literally what I asked myself. I'm like, man, you got $1 million opportunity. I think from right now to next year, I just did the math. If you get to the 120% contract, right, $70,000 a month, hire a couple folks, you're at $1 million income in the next 12 months. Now, I know for some people that may seem unrealistic. You know, you got to grow where you're at. I get it completely. But do your own numbers. But when I calculated that for me, I just hit a different switch in my mind. I said, I can do this. And we're seeing examples across. I mean, you got Jeremico and Hutch and Passer, who's consistently writing 30 and 40,000. And then Minikino and Megan Wood, they're showing the 50, 60, 70,000 in the week she just did. So it's like, it's possible. So if she can do it, I can do it. But I really had to hit the switch mentally saying, you know what? I can make $1 million. Steven, you said it on one of the calls. I don't remember which one. You said 7 days a week. This is the time. It is absolutely the time. Andy says, are you in or all in 24/7? Are you? Or in 24/7? Are you? And I just really asked myself, like, I wasn't living that. It's a cool hashtag and we like to put it on stuff, but I wasn't really in 24/7. I was probably like in 410. You know, I was in 3 days a week, 6 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't in 24/7, and that's where I'm at now. And I think because of it, I've got more momentum going. I'm making more investments. Like guys, my lead bill is higher. But just, if you heard me down today, I'm getting more referrals. I also took this mindset too, Stephen. I'm no longer just a life insurance agent. Like I'm truly a financial planner. Like I'm the ability, like I'm a benefit provider, because we don't just do life insurance. We do hospital indemnity. You know, we do cancer policies. We do IULs, as we just heard. We protect retirements. And I think mentally at one point, I just looked at myself as a life insurance agent. Like I had a client yesterday. I went there, could not get them life insurance. They had a policy, really good price, couldn't really add anything on, but I was able to help them with 2 hospital indemnities, and that was an extra $30 in premium. And I mean, I wouldn't have did that 3 months ago, 6 months ago, but now like I'm more than just life insurance. I help people. We got Medicare supplement, Medicare, I mean, so many different products. But even besides that, I think the bigger switch has just literally been like in the next 12 months, I can make $1 million. Like me and my wife are looking at another home. We were looking at homes yesterday. We found one that's about $600,000. And I mean, listen, it's possible. It's doable. You've seen Steven's house. Look at Andy's house. All it is you do the work, you get the rewards. What do you want? How do I get it? And I think really, man, more than anything, I guess I just want to get the mindset right, guys, because the mind got to be right. If the mind right, the body will follow. And that's what really has changed for me. Like, are you really in 24/7? Like, are you really serious about getting whatever that goal is? Because we have the possibility, like we have the opportunity. And I'll leave on this statement. My last statement, or my last thing when people ask, I say, you know, how your day going? I say, man, it's a new day, a new opportunity. And really, you got to dig deep about that, because the question is, it is an opportunity. It's just, what are you going to do with that opportunity? Like, what are you going to do when that opportunity hits you? Because that's the question, because we all got a new opportunity today. Is what are you going to do each second, each minute, each hour, each day? And I think really, Stephen, that's what I really want to talk to folks about. Is that's just my heart right now, man. In 24/7, 7 days a week, ain't no sports on. Like, what else I got to do? Sit around the house? No. So, hey, that's what I got, Stephen. I'm gonna quit rambling. Hopefully that helps. If you got something specific, let me know.
That was awesome, dude. You got me fired up. Got me fired up all over again. I'm telling you what, it's that mentality. And you're right. It's easy to pay lip service to in 24/7 are you. I think if a lot of people reflect to be like, I'm in 24 hours a month, 7 months a year, in 24/7. But I love it, dude. And I love what you talked about. Just when those concepts start to hit your mind, like, holy cow, I could do something big. I've watched you change on the outside after you changed on the inside. And if someone's thinking it's not realistic for them to do what Billy's doing, let me tell you something. Can't is often just won't in pretty dress clothes. That's all it is. I'm telling you, reality is negotiable. If you don't believe me, hang out with me and Billy for about 10 minutes and you'll see about 18 mistakes we'll make. And yet we're doing it. So I'm telling you, come with us. All right, last guest I want to get on, and I'm going to get into my content today about questions. Let's get Mr. Evan Patzer on. Speaking of on fire, this guy is
Hey, Steven, how you doing, buddy?
Fired up, brother.
See me?
Fired up, loud and clear, man. Light us up.
Oh, man, Steven, I'm so excited. I'm like, every cell in my body is radiating with fire at this point in time right now. Billy, you got me so fired up, man. I mean, I got my coin on me. The what do you want? How do you get it? And I want to start off by talking about that, because it's the simplicity of this coin and the simplicity of the way that I allow my mind to operate itself to get me at higher levels and reach higher goals. And Billy's talking about that, man. And Mimi, you got me fired up too with some of the changes that you're making to make sure that you grow to reach your financial goals and your numbers. And a lot's been talking about this 40 appointments a week. And we've talked about it on the calls, and different people have mentioned it. And, just not too long ago, 20 appointments a week was the norm. And if you did 20 appointments a week, if you paid over $20,000 a month, you were like the guy. I mean, you were on it like white on rice. And I remember just kind of getting to that and coasting at that, thinking that that's topped out, because it's crazy when we when something's created as a norm, we allow our minds to limit themselves to conform to those norms. Well, I'm more grateful to Andy and some of the leaders like Billy and Mimi and Hutch and, obviously Megan Wood and all these people out there, Paul Medicino, that have been taking the initiative to stretch the bar, because all it is, and even my buddy Kyle Fawcett said it on a call last week, I think, is, booking 40 appointments is just as simple. It takes the same amount of effort as it does to book 20 appointments. However, the amount of income you generate from 40 appointments a week and the elimination of even having really bad weeks is like, it's crazy. And so I've been doing things just to keep myself really simple-minded about reaching those goals. And one of the things that I've done recently, Stephen, just last week, once you sent out that image of the 40 appointment week plan, is I'm just like, I'm gonna change my schedule to that, because that makes the most sense. It makes it simple enough for me to do that every single week without any problems, which is simply, I've got all day Monday to set a minimum of 20 appointments. I can do that. I just need to make sure that I have enough resources and people to call. And I'm focused with intentional energy from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. when I say I'm going to be busting my butt and getting down to work. Once I do that, then I've got 2 full days to hit those appointments. And then I take it up over again on Thursday, and I do that for Friday and Saturday. And I'll be damned if I don't come up with a consistent 15 to 20,000 plus and submit every single week from that plan. And another thing too, that I'll be honest, I do work in a little bit of a chaos within my mind. I think I've got ADD or something. But I go at it every week with a whatever it takes mentality. So first, I've already established, what I want. And once I know what I want, which is this 40 appointments a week, which is getting to a 120% contract, which is making triple what I've ever made in my entire life this year, and then going beyond into $1 million a year plus. I just know that my mind is going to formulate whatever it takes every single day that I'm putting in work, every single week that I'm putting in work. I've got to come up with what it is to get me to those goals. That's 40 appointments a week and those premium targets. And so that's what I do. And so one thing that I can encourage some of you that are listening to do is just ask yourself better questions, right? You've heard the saying, the quality of your life determines, the quality of the question determines the quality of your life. Well, not necessarily always the questions that you ask people, which is important, but the questions that you ask yourself are vital. So are you regularly asking yourself, what can I be doing at this very moment to make sure that I'm getting myself to 40 appointments a week? What is the best action that I can take right now to ensure that I'm continuing to grow myself, mind, body, spirit, and finance, and increase myself to reach my goals faster? And when you ask yourself that question, your mind will go to work for you to give you the answer. I'll give you an example. Let's say for whatever reason, I'm running low on leads. I've only got 22 appointments for the week. Well, I have a question that I'll ask myself. What is it going to take for me to finish strong and get to 40 appointments in this week? When I ask myself that question, a couple of answers come to me. Well, go ahead and get on naaleads.com and buy up a bunch more leads. Go ahead and also look into your ERSs that you haven't called through yet and call them. Also, why don't you go ahead and look at your current clients on the amazing CRM that's been developed and reach out to them to get appointments. You see, a simple question gave me the answer in 3 different ways. And then it's my job to attack it and approach it and go do what my mind told me to do. And so if you just do that, I think it'll help you a lot. You don't have to be an organized genius, because I'm certainly not. I mean, I try to be as organized as possible, but I'm just not naturally inclined to be like that. But I know simple fundamentals, simple basics that if I can keep in front of myself on a regular basis, it'll help me to reach my goals. And I think that's one thing that has helped me to have a big week like this. Actually, Stephen, this has been the biggest week of submit that I think I've ever had. And this is just the beginning. I'm excited for there to be a lot bigger weeks. I was a little frustrated, and I wasn't that happy to see that on my biggest week of the ever so far, Megan Wood had to go out there and double that. But that's going to change. And so if I keep sticking to this, and if y'all keep sticking to what I'm telling you to, what Billy's telling you, what Mimi's telling, what Steven's telling you, you will get massive, massive growth in a short period of time. And be persistent, please. Be persistent. A lot of the business that I put in over the past several months has been me consistently following up with people that told me they weren't interested, or they needed to think about things, or were pushing or holding things off over time. And so don't give up on people unless they give you the bird and smack you in the face, because that's not always the case. Don't give up on people and keep following up with them, because it will come to fruition. That's all I have, Steven. Is there anything else that you'd like me to touch on, or anything you need?
That was perfect, bro. That was perfect. That's a man's words lined up with an example, and you get an audio visual matching like that, bro. That is inspirational. Here's what's crazy. So this is my notes for what I'm going to talk about next. You see that right there?
Statement, question, good question. Wow.
The quality of your questions.
Wow, you already wrote that before, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy.
We did not conspire. We did not talk about this.
Oh, that's awesome.
We did not.
I was like, huh?
Wait a minute.
I love it. This makes a great segue into my talk here to wind out the call. Thank you, brother.
Stephen Davies.
Hey, if you want to see Evan Patzer, if you want to see Billy Crane, if you want to see Mark Hutchison, as soon as this call's over, we're going to jump over on the other link. I put it on band this morning. We're going to jump over on the other link, and we're going to start to dial jam right back up. Those guys and more will be on there. And I'm so fired up. So let's get started. So the thought is this. People think in three different modes. Underperformers, broke people, unhappy people, they think at the lowest possible level. They think in a statement form. And if you don't believe me, just hang out one of them for about 10 minutes and try and tell them something. Try and tell them Evan Patzer just had a $35,000 week. And they'll say something like, well, you know, it ain't going to last. He ain't going to be able to do it again. They come out with a statement. The problem with statements is they get your mind to stop thinking. And once you say a statement, your brain stops working. It's like, oh, good, right? That's the people a lot of times, they got an excuse. And it's a statement. Now, that's the lowest. What's a step up? A step up would be to think in question form. Now, and this is where it gets tricky. You can be thinking in a question and still not be at the highest level of thought process, which is thinking in terms of good questions. So we got to move away from, listen to yourself this week. If you think statements like after anything that Mimi or Billy or Evan said, if you were thinking a statement, I'm telling you, that's the lowest level. We got to change that. We got to get you thinking in good questions, thinking in questions that actually will produce results. Because what Evan said is something I was taught 19 years ago by Andy Albright. The quality of the questions will 100% control, dictate, decide the quality of your life. People that ask great questions have great lives. People that ask great questions perform at high levels. People that ask great questions have great marriages. People that ask great questions have great relationships with their children all through their life. It's because the quality of your questions determines the quality of your life. So I'm going to give you 4 categories of questions that are danger questions. In other words, it's a question, but it's not going to create results. So the first type of question you got to be careful about are absolving questions. Those are questions that people ask themselves to let themselves off the hook. For instance, an absolving question would be, you hear that Evan Patzer just went out and had a $35,000 week. The absolving question would be, what does he have going for him that I don't have going for me? What does he have? What does he have going on in his area? What about his background makes him better? I wonder how much more coaching he gets from Steve. See, these all become absolving questions. Those are the let ourselves off the hook questions. So it's a question, and you can see that's why it's tricky. You think, well, I'm thinking of questions, I'm doing good. But if it's an absolving question, it's not. It's a let ourselves off the hook, and we're all guilty of it. We just got to do it less. Does that make sense? We'll never be able to 100% do it zero, but we just got to do it less. That's what you got to do, less of it. So beware. Number 1, absolving questions. Number 2, reducing questions. Reducing questions, here's what they are. Reducing questions are cynicism trying to cloak itself as intelligence. That's cynical questions that reduce a matter, and people do it to look intelligent. And you'll find this among typically the broke, lower performers. They'll instead of trying to raise their level of performance up, they'll ask reducing questions to bring it down. Or even worse, think of a reducing statement. So for instance, Evan Pastor says it's simple to book 40 appointments a week. I'm gonna get on the phone Monday, and I'm gonna fill up Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm gonna get on the phone Thursday, I'm gonna fill up Friday and Saturday. A reducing question would bring him down to the level we're comfortable performing at. And so beware of reducing questions, because all it is cynicism disguised as intelligence. It's a question that attempts to bring a higher performer down to the level we're comfortable performing at, to make us feel better, take the guilt off. All right, third type of dangerous question, distracting questions. Those are questions that take us down rabbit trails. Those are questions that don't produce a productive result. A good example of a distracting question would be someone quits, someone's marriage gets messed up, and then we go on the question game. Well, I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened. Ooh, what do you think? I don't want to. And next thing you know, we're on a rabbit trail, and we're nowhere closer to what we want. We're off on some rabbit trail. And when people pull us in, people tell us all the time, man, they're just to pull you in if you're not careful. And then next thing you know, you're on the distracting question games. I wonder what, I wonder who, I wonder. And it takes us away from where we want to go. It takes us away from what we want. All right. And then the last one we have to be careful about, especially in times like right now, destructive questions. These are the doom loop questions people ask, and people do a lot of this right now. It's destructive questions. It's a doom loop. Well, what happens if, and then 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 what happens if, and all of a sudden they've dug themselves in a hole of despair, depression, and they're giving up. Destructive questions. It's the doom loop cycle. You've got to be careful. I would love to spend more time on every single one of these, but guys, we got to go. We got to get on this dial jam, man. I'm telling you, I cannot wait to see what happens this afternoon. So that's what we got to look out for: those absolving questions, those reducing questions, those distracting questions, and those destructive questions. Where do we need to spend our time? There's two types of questions that if we want to be more productive in any area of life, whether it's business, family, whatever, it's the two types of questions you want to ask yourselves are application questions and expansion questions. So what's an application question? An application question would be, what do I need to do to book 40 appointments a week? An application question would be, now where do I find this video that Justin referenced? The extended training where he shows how he draws it out from April 23rd. See, that's application. Hey, what is application? It's a lot like this. What do I want? How do I get it? What do I want? What do I got to do? That's an application question. Where do I go to get my AHIP done? I got to get my AHIP done. Hey, how did that new SureBridge, their products, how does that fit in with my clients? Which one of my clients need what they have? You think about Megan Wood and what she says, the way her brain, she's trained it to work is, who needs what I have next? That's an application question. An indicator of whether or not we've been asking ourselves application questions, especially in that regard, is, have you written any med sup? Have you written any hospital indemnity? Have you written any of the critical or cancer policies? Have you written any annuities? Have you written any IULs? See, these would be application questions. We go, how do I do that? What do I need to do next? Now, what's an expansion question? An expansion question is where you take something that's working and you make it bigger. So 40 appointments a week, it's simple. It's simple. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. And you follow whatever pattern you want to follow. I know in my base shop, we're doing Mondays and Thursdays. Just make the dials. It's not complicated. 10 appointments a day, 4 days a week. That's all it is. That's all it is. So an expansion would be, what do I need to do to find someone to come on my team and run 40 appointments a week? What do I need to do that? How do I work new products that are yet coming into my repertoire? Does that make sense? Like, it's expanding. If I haven't been using my CRM, what day will I make that this week? Billy was booking ERS appointments this morning on the Dial Jam. I hate that you missed it if you missed it. But that would be another expansion question. How do I add that to what I'm already doing? Can you see how those final two types of questions are the key? Can you see how that's how people like Justin Balick have come in the company and passed people that have been here for years? Can you see how asking those type of questions is how Megan Wood has flat out passed people like their feet are nailed to the floor? Can you see how that's happening? Can you see how Billy Crane's changed inside who he is because of application and expansion questions? So so what do we do with the information? Here's what we do with the information. We take our day and we keep ourselves in application and expansion questions. What would be an example of that? We're going to finish this call. We're going to get on the Dial Jam. How many phone calls can I make? I need to immediately jump in on this 40 appointments a week. Tonight, I need to download and watch the 423 training with Justin Balick. I need to, see what I'm saying? I need to log into my CRM. I need to start using that piece of it. I need to call Ashlyn Davis, who is in charge of leads now. And Ashlyn is, I mean, and any of y'all know, like anytime you have lead problems, I'm like, better call Ashlyn because she'll fix it. Yeah, I need to start doing those things, right? Mimi mentioned it. Now I got to do it. Does that make sense? So if we keep ourselves in those application and expansion questions, we're going to be so much more effective. We're going to be so much more effective. I was thinking about this in terms of relationships. Most marriages don't die of a sudden death. They die of a slow smothering of neglect, right? Do people not know what to do? It's pretty simple, right? This marriage is simple. Just tell her you love her a lot. Tell her you love her a lot and do things she likes and don't do things she don't like. It's pretty simple. But the application keeps us from doing those things. Does that make sense? So application questions and then expansion questions. Guys, if you stay in there, I promise you, you'll be booking 40 appointments a week and you'll be finding people that'll book 40 appointments a week because that's the plan. That's how we get you equity. That's how we get you those multi-million-dollar checks and millions in stock that we're talking about. That's how we get it happen. That's the game plan. 40 appointments a week. Find some more that'll do 40 appointments a week with you guys. We are creating mass right now. Crazy, crazy mass. Come with us, guys. Holly and I love you. We can't wait to watch your story continue to unfold. Let's get out. Let's get after it. Let's grab it and growl. Let's get over there to the Dial Jam. So fired up. Love y'all. Hammer down.